Hello everyone. Today we're going to animate this Photoshop file with multiple layers in Adobe Animate. So please download this file so you can use it. And then also once you move each layer to Adobe Animate, we can animate something like this. Let me show you the final result in web browser. Control, Test Movie, and in browser. Isn't it funny? So I created this using the movie clip symbols, and also at the end of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to export as an MP4 file for your the Instagram or SNS site. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel, hit the like button, and then set the alarm for my latest video. And let's get started. Okay. So first, please download this Photoshop file. I provided a link in my description so you can download it. This is the Photoshop file with the 6 layers. Background layer, cloud layer, explode layer, boom, the text layer, and then stem big one, stem small ones. Okay, now, once you have that, go to Adobe Animate and create a new file. The size is going to be 600 pixel by 600 pixel, 30 frame rate, and platform type HTML5 canvas, and create it. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so I can view the entire stage. Now back to Photoshop. So first, I'm going to add the background layer at the very last minute. So let me select the cloud layer first and select all. And copy, and then back to animate, and on this first layer I'm going to paste it. See, let me rename this layer as a cloud layer. Cloud. Okay, now once you import it, delete this image, open the library. You will see that anyway, it is in your library. And then we're going to create a new movie clip symbol by clicking this new symbol on the bottom of your library panel. Let me name it as cloud. Make sure your symbol type is going to be movie clip. Okay. I'm going to move my center point to there. And then in this movie clip symbol, watch this. I'm working on the cloud movie clip symbol, not on the main stage. Select the bitmap number 1, this cloud image, and drag and drop. And open the properties. I'm going to set the position to 0.0 by 0. Okay, now back. Then open the library, and then we're going to use this cloud, this movie clip symbol. So just a double click. So watch this. I'm working on the cloud movie clip symbol. Then on frame number 5, I'm going to animate it just a little bit. Insert a keyframe. On frame number 10, insert another keyframe. Then select any frame between 1 and 5. Hold down the Control key or right click and create classic twin. Do the same thing between 5 and 10. Control, click, classic twin. In the middle, I'm going to rotate it just a little bit. Let me zoom out. And then also in this, the frame number 5, the second keyframe, choose your free transform tool. Let me rotate it just a little bit, not too much. I just want to shake it. Just like that. Okay, now back to main stage. Now place your cloud movie clip symbol here. Let me make it a little bit smaller. Hold down the shift key and free transform tool about that size. In the middle. Okay. So visual center. So this is good. Let me test it and see what happens. Under control menu, test movie in browser. It shakes because this is a movie clip symbol with its own timeline. So I'm back to animate. Even though we're using just a frame number one, only one frame, it animates. Now let's do the second one. I'm back to Photoshop. Let me choose my explode layer. Already selected. Let me copy. And then I'm back to Adobe Animate. Let me add new layer. This layer is going to be explode layer. Explode. Okay, in this explode layer, let me paste it. And delete it. You don't have to keep it because you already have it in your library. Now create a new movie clip symbol. This time I'm going to name it as explode. So this is going to be explode movie clip symbol. In here, let me place my explode image on center point there. Okay. And then this time I'm in the explode movie clip symbols editing window. I'll repeat the same thing. Frame number 5, insert a keyframe. Frame number 10, insert another keyframe, and select any frame in between 1 and 5. Hold down the Control or right click and create classic tween. Do the same thing between 5 and 10. Control, click, classic tween. This time the explode the cloud, we just shake it, and then this time I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger or smaller. So on second keyframe, let me choose my free transform tool. Let me hold down the shift key. Let me make it slightly bigger, not too much, just about that, and play it. So it does that. Now I'm back to main scene. In this explode scene and the layer, let me choose my explode movie clip symbol. I'm going to place it on top of that. And let me make it slightly smaller, about that size. So just to lay out it. Maybe a little down, a little to the right. Okay. And let me test the movie. Control, test in browser. See? It keeps moving because this one also has its own timeline. So let me keep going. This time I'm gonna choose the third layer, boom, the text layer. Let me copy and back to Adobe Animate. Let me add a new layer on top. This layer is gonna be called boom. And let me paste it. As we did, just to delete it, it's here in your library. Create a new movie clip symbol. I'm gonna name it as boom. Okay, and then let me place boom, the text image, the center point there, and then let me do the same thing. Make sure you're working in this boom movie clip symbols editing window. Frame number 5, insert keyframe. Frame number 10, insert another keyframe. Select any frame in between. Hold down the Control or right click, classic tween. Do the same thing. Hold down the Control or right click, create classic tween. Now, select the middle one. This time, I'm going to choose my free transform tool again. Let me make it slightly bigger and rotate it. So it's going to be shaking and a little bit bigger, just like that. Okay, now back to main scene. In this boom layer, let me choose my boom movie clip symbol and drag and drop. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, about that size. Okay, and let's test the movie. Under Control, test the movie in browser. See, isn't it fun? So cloud and explode and the boom, everything's animating separately. Okay, now let's keep adding. In Photoshop, the fifth layer from the bottom, the stem, the big one. Let me copy And back to Adobe Animate. Let me create a new layer on top. I'm gonna rename it as a steam underscore big. And let me paste it. Edit, paste it, delete it, create a new movie clip symbol. This time, steam underscore big as a movie clip symbol. Okay. And then drag and drop the movie clip under the image there on 0 point. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. So now it's a routine. I repeat the same steps. Frame number 5, insert keyframe. Frame number 10, insert keyframe. Select any frame in between 1 and 5 as we did. Hold down the Control or right click, and create classic twin. Between 5 and 10, hold down the Control or right click, classic twin. Now, on frame number 5, you can make it either bigger or smaller. I'm gonna make it smaller, like that. So it's gonna be, if you want, you can rotate it as well. Now go back to the main scene. In this new layer, Steam Big, let me choose the Steam Big movie clip symbol and drag and drop. And make it smaller. About that size. I don't know. So maybe it's too big, too small. Make it slightly bigger than that. About that size. Okay, so it looks good. And let me test the movie. See what happened. Control, test the movie in browser. Isn't it fun? Okay, one more. Actually, two more. Back to Photoshop. Steam Small. Edit Copy. Now go back to Adobe Animate. Create a new layer on top. This layer is going to be named Steam underscore small. And let me paste it. See, it's here. Delete it. I'm gonna make a new movie clip symbol again. This time, Steam underscore small. Make sure the type is movie clip. Okay. And then let me choose this small steam, drag and drop here on 0 point. Let me zoom out a little bit. In here, I will do the same thing. On frame number 5, insert keyframe. On frame number 10, insert keyframe. Choose any frame in between 1 and 5. Hold down the Control or right click. Create classic twin. Between 5 and 10, hold down the Control or right click. Create classic twin. On frame number 5, the second keyframe. This time I'm going to make it slightly bigger. Hold down the Shift key. So this happens. Now back to the beginning, the main scene. In this Steam Small layer, choose your Steam Small movie clip symbol and drag and drop. It's pretty big. Let me make it smaller. Hold down the Shift key with Free Transform tool. Even smaller, about that size. And set the position. Maybe there. Slightly bigger. Not too much. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. And let's see. Under Controls menu, test movie in browser. Isn't it fun? It's quite fun. Okay, so we're almost there. Let's add just one more, your background. Go back to Animate. Before we do that, let's do this. When we play it, everything's happening at the same time. You don't see the animation until you test the movie. Okay, if you hit the play button, it doesn't work. You have to control and test the movie in browser. So this happens. Okay, so everything's happening at the same time, which is okay, but I want to give some little bit different timeline for each layer. So go back to Animate. What I'm going to do is, in this main timeline, let me highlight the frame number 10 of all layers. So highlight the frame number 10 on top layer, hold down the Shift key, and click on frame number 10 on the bottom layer, then insert the keyframe. Now select all layers. Select the bottom layer, hold down the Shift key, click on the top layer, and then hold down the Control, hover your mouse cursor somewhere in between any frame, any layer, and click. And create Classic Twin. Okay, now I want to give some little more speed difference. So select all first keyframes by holding down the Shift key, go to Properties menu, and then in the Properties menu, you're going to see that the Ease option. I'm going to add 100. We'll see what happens. And then also, at the very beginning, everything selected, choose your free transform tool, hold down the Shift key, and make everything smaller, like that. And then also, I'm going to change the color effect on frame number 1 at the beginning. Change your color effect alpha down to 0. So what's going to happen is it's going to be doing like this. Okay. Now, in order to give some different timeline, highlight your second layer, explode layer, move it to the right 5 more frames. Frame number 15. Boom layer, frame 20. Stem big layer, 25. Stem small, up to 30. So this is going to happen. But at the end, we only see the small stem only. So we want to keep everything. So on your second layer from the top, stem big one, highlight the frame number 30. Hold down the Shift key. Click on the frame number 30 on the bottom layer. Then insert the keyframe. So this will happen. Let me test the movie. Control, test the movie in browser. Yep, but it doesn't stay. So I want to make it stay a little longer. So let me go back to Animate. This time, I want to make it stay after 1 second, maybe at the maybe 3 or 4 more seconds after that, so people have enough time to see my entire animation. So let me do this. On frame number 120, which is a 4-second mark, select all 4-second mark, insert the keyframe, and watch. Control, test the movie in browser. 1, 2, 3, and repeat. Isn't it fun? Okay, now only the last step remain is we're going to add the background animation. So let me go back to Animate, main timeline. Let me add a new layer. I'm going to move this layer to the bottom, very bottom. And let me rename it as a BG, background layer. I'm going back to the beginning, very beginning. Then from Photoshop, select your background layer, edit, copy, and now back to Animate and edit, paste it. I'm going to center it somewhere there. Okay, then now this is a total 4-second mark. So on 2-second mark on the bottom background layer, let me insert the keyframe. I'm going to insert another keyframe at the end, the 4-second mark keyframe. Now, hover your mouse cursor somewhere in between the first and the second keyframe. hold down the control key or right click and insert create classic twin. Do the same thing between the 2-second mark and the 4-second mark on the bottom layer. Hold down the control or right click, create classic twin. Now, from the beginning, the first keyframe is selected. Now in your properties panel, let me rotate clockwise. On second keyframe, highlight the second keyframe, do the same thing. Rotate clockwise. And this happens. Now see what happens. Control, test the movie in browser. So background is spinning and boom, staying for 3 seconds and keep looping. Isn't it cool? Okay. So once it is done, maybe we can use it for the web browser, but also we can export it as an MP4 file for your SNS or some other purpose. So let me go back to Animate. First, I'm going to save it. File, save as. Since I have this file already, I'm going to save it as a boom number 2 in my folder. Save it. Now go to File, Export, and export video and media. Once you open this export media window, make sure it will start with Adobe Media Encoder. So make sure your media encoder is on, is open, which is this media encoder. Then from here, my destination is going to be my folder. I'm going to name it as a boom number 2. Save it. Make sure your codec, the format, it has to be H.264 to export as MP4 file. And I'm going to keep that default. Then export it. Take a few seconds. And let me check my folder. In my folder, I have a boom number 2. So let me double click. Let's see my video file. See? You can upload it onto your maybe my Instagram or any other SNS site. Okay. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and you can use it for your future project. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.